Is it still going?
We're live.
We are live. Just like this Saints and Panthers game. I don't think it's done yet. Um, that's a bad thing about blowouts, ladies and gentlemen. They last longer than normal games. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a minute left.
yeah. Um, Look, man, it was all bad. It was all bad. I was in our Discord, and you're clearly upset. Of course, you were. I'm sitting there saying, man, Bryce Young might just be a bad quarterback. But then I had to step back and think about it, man. Like, nothing looked good out there. I mean, the O line looked a little bit better, right? They didn't look like last year. But, man, it was like you were bad everywhere. And when a team completely falls apart like that, that just means they weren't prepared because I don't believe they're that bad. You know what I mean? So they just
I
weren't
mean,
prepared for that game.
they're a very, very, very bad team. They don't have talent on the team. The O line was demonstrably better than last year. Bryce Young was not. It didn't lead to him looking any better. He went 13 for 30 with a couple of picks. His first pass was an interception. He doesn't seem, there's times when he uses his athletic ability to move around the pocket, escape the rush, and then there's times when he seems oblivious to it.
Yeah.
The problem was the when he would get when he had a clean pocket or when he would escape pressure and he had somebody open, he couldn't hit him.
Yeah.
So that was bad. The guys, I mean, it seemed like they fumbled every time they got touched. That was awful. But the worst part is the defense. You gave 47 points to the Saints,
Yeah.
to the Saints offense. Like I don't understand. I mean, I know that they are not overly talented on defense either, but they weren't last year either, and they played pretty tough most of the year. Today they went out and they got their head kicked in every way possible. Uh, so I mean, they looked awful. They should be embarrassed. And to be honest, like there's no if they play like that again, there's no point in watching this team.
Oh man. Okay. First, let's give a shout to the chat. Shout out to Omar Tillman. I know it was hard for you too, brother. He says Panthers have a QB problem. The game plan to beat Bryce was shown last year by Flores and the Vikings. Saints copied it today. Yeah. Um. You know, me and B were talking at halftime, and I'm like, okay, that one. I mean, he got sacked. I don't know how many times, but that one blitz that they showed, he called timeout. Right. Go to the sideline. They work things out. Come out of timeout. They're showing blitz again. I'm like, this looks like they're going to send a house. And the Saints don't blitz that much. I heard the announcer say that they don't blitz that often. They're blitzing right here, right? And he just takes the hit head on. You knew it was coming. He like when you say a deer caught in the headlights, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
You see the blitz coming. You see the coming right at you, and you stand there. You don't even try to throw the ball away. You don't even shell up. You just stand there and get decleated. You're not ready, bro. You're not ready.
Well,
Like
it may not be a question of being ready, and just he's not good.
it might be. It might be. What's going on, Killer? He says, "Hola, Jose," and also mucho gusto, Brodny.
What's going on, Killer? And that's the thing with Bryce. At this point,
What's up,
it
Bazel?
doesn't matter because there aren't any more excuses. There's no more, oh well, this is wrong with the team. That's wrong with the team. Blah blah blah. Because they went out, they improved the O line. The O line did play better. He didn't. So I'm not saying that he's awful for sure. That he's a bust for sure. But at this point, my attitude is you're bad until you prove otherwise.
Has
Uh,
to be. It
and
has to be.
and,
This,
and this is why coming into the season, it was always funny to listen to people say, "Oh well, they got to get an edge rusher in round one, right?" Because they don't have anybody on the other side of Clowney, and even Clowney didn't do a whole lot, but they don't have talent in that department. And my response is always, you don't have any idea what Carolina needs in the first round because They have to figure out if they have their quarterback. And if they don't, they have to draft a quarterback. If they
Yeah.
do, you have to figure out if you have a left tackle. And if you don't, you have to draft a left tackle, right?
Yeah.
And then even beyond that, let's say you got the quarterback and you got the left tackle. A team this bad is just taking the best player available. This is the only time you take best player available when you're picking at the top of the draft and there are elite prospects there. You don't lock yourself into a position. You just take the best player there because an edge rusher is not going to do anything for this team. Nothing.
No. All right, let me get a couple more shout outs. Big Reg in the house. Salute to you, Big Reg. Thanks for coming through. Trib1 says, how far off was 3 or 14? 3 or 14? Oh, is that what your prediction was for the year? Hey, I mean, it's one game.
Congrats, bro. You said bad team was going to be bad.
Hey, I mean, we've seen teams get blown out in the first week and turn things around, right? Like that's, that doesn't mean that they can't fix some things. I think Canales is a good coach. I think he'll figure some things out. I don't think they'll look this bad again, right?
I mean, is it possible to look this bad again? Like they looked unbelievably. They didn't stop the Saints at all. They didn't stop the Saints once on defense.
Yeah.
Not
What's
once.
up, Shaheen? Yeah. Salute to Shaheen. Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. Hendo from the Roll Pie says it's time to tell the truth. Yeah. I mean, Bryce doesn't look good, man. I mean, that's just what it is. Jay the Six, I know he's hurting too. He says we were embarrassed, treated like children, and just flat out disrespected. Didn't look good, Jay. It did not look good. What's up, Danny? Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Heartbreak emojis. I know. The Bengals did lose. Oh, man. All right, we're going to get to the rest of the NFL in a minute. This is going to be a faster stream because I'm actually supposed to be on the road right now. Okay. But we're going to give you a quick stream. We'll talk about some of the NFL games real quick. I want to talk about Angel Reese's her season-ending injury, and Dak Prescott's his record-setting deal over in Dallas. So, we'll go through this real quick. Who else is in here? MDT Sports, salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Chaos 30310 says Panthers were just trash tonight, offense and defense. I mean, that goes without saying. Yeah. Suge is happy again. Suge was not happy earlier at halftime. He was very upset, but the Steelers pulled it out. So he's back. What's up,
I don't know how they possibly could with the refs.
Bucks team, did they pull it out? They lost. I don't know. I don't know. I told you I don't think the Bills are that good this year.
Yeah, so, but the Cardinals are the Cardinals.
Yeah. Oh well, thanks for coming through, Buck. Justin Hamilton, what's going on? Justin says, who that to say going to beat them Saints? Are you a Saints fan, Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Congrats.
No.
Yeah,
no, Justin. No. You only get to make requests like that with a donation, bro.
He gets one troll. He gets one free troll.
No. He put it in another way to say, can Brodny read my message? Like, no. That's not how that works.
What's up, Xavier Smith? Says, damn, but I still rock with you, B. So you still getting love here, man. DeAndre Thomas says, Panthers are still the worst team in the league. He said league, but he meant league. Yeah.
Yeah, because if they're not, somebody else has a real big surprise coming in the afternoon games. Right. That was awful.
Buck says Cards played better than Carolina at least.
You still 0-1, bro. It don't matter.
Yeah, still 0-1. He said, Justin said he'll super chat if you trade me Bo Nix. Do you have Bo Nix?
I don't have Bo Nix.
Do I have Bo Nix? I think I have Bo Nix. No, you can't have Bo Nix.
that is the wrong answer. You ask how much he's going to super chat.
How much are you going to super chat?
Goodness.
We'll talk.
Fan of Baltimore, you don't even know how to do corruption?
Hey. Hold on a second. Your owner's David Tepper, all right? Yeah, okay. So I mean, look, we'll go with some stats real quick, man. This was just embarrassing. It was Bryce Young was the thing that stuck out to me, man. Like he just has to. He doesn't have command of the offense. He looks too timid out there. A lot of bad missed passes, man. Like you gotta be able to stand in the pocket and make those passes, complete those passes. Like you're gonna get hit. Bryce Young, 13 for 30, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had one
Two
rushing
interceptions.
touchdown. I mean, 2 interceptions. I'm sorry, 2 interceptions. He had one rushing touchdown
Yeah.
that they called a fumble initially, but it was ruled a touchdown. Rushing yards, not a good day either. Miles Sanders, 5 carries, 22
Yeah.
yards. That was your leading rusher. Looks like Adam Thielen was your leading receiver with 3 catches, 49 yards. Jonathan Mingo, 2 catches, 40 yards. He fumbled the ball, but he was able to,
Well,
get the ruling to
he
give it
also
back.
had a fumble on his one carry. Uh,
He did,
where
yes.
he had to end around, and it looked like, hey man, I was like, that was a pretty good play call. It looks like they might pick up the first round. Oh no, he fumbled.
Xavier Leggett, 4 catches, 35 yards. Deontay Johnson, 2 catches, 19 yards. These are your acquisitions, man. Like, I mean, I want to say do better, but I mean, your quarterback can't get them the ball, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Again, I don't think, I'm not sure who you guys played next week. We'll look at that, but I don't think they'll look that bad again. But man, today, yeah, I mean, there's not even you don't even need to look at that tape. You just gotta get back to practice and work on the things that you've been working on all off season. Um, Defense, man,
I mean, I don't know. They just get beat up everywhere on defense. I expected the secondary to be rough. They were, it's a patchwork secondary. They brought in 4 or 5 guys off the waiver wire after cuts who are playing for them. So like
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't a situation where I thought, oh man, it's going to be locked down. But they have J.C. Horn. They have some talent at safety. It can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Nothing is allowed to be that
And shout out to Suge for the donation. What's Suge's donation saying? Because please don't upset Brodny. He needs you to do something. Also, I should also mention we're talking about super chats. Here's how we do super chats over here. You see that pin link that you see in the chat box? That will take you to our Streamlabs page. Okay, you can go over there, or you can hit that QR code, or just go into your Cash App $ LBHT show. Right. Either way, you can leave a donation, leave a comment, and you get the nice animation on the screen, and we will read your comment on air. That's how we do the super chats over here.
bad. Yes, and Shug says, please don't upset Rodney. I need him later for the live stream. I'm so glad football is back. I found this great channel looking for a live reaction to the Steelers beating the Ravens, and now I found my family and you all. Much love.
That's right.
Appreciate
Salute.
it,
Yes.
Shug. There ain't gonna be no live stream later. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe later on this week. I don't know. Let's see. Pay the Bill says the disrespect of Carr leading up to this was crazy. What did Carr
Not
say?
really. No, I think saying people talking about Derek Carr, and I don't think it's crazy. Carr's not.
Oh,
Like he's a guy.
we can't overreact to one game, even in a blowout, right? Because 17 games is a long season. What's going on, Coach? Thanks for coming through. But you know what I mean? Like you can't overreact one way or another. Like, we react in real time, right? And that was the Panthers looked awful, but it's still a very long season. So you got to go week to week, especially when you're rebuilding the team, and that's what they're doing. They're rebuilding. So they're not on the same page. New coach. You're playing a division rival out the gate. It happens.
Chris White says, no, this is the wrong one. Chris White says, teams like the Panthers are why I'm hesitant to fire Harbaugh. There are no teams like the Panthers. There are just the Panthers. And look, there's no reason to be hesitant to fire John Harbaugh. The problem in Carolina isn't coaching. The problem in Carolina is talent, and that's not a problem in Baltimore. Now, I mean,
I,
it's a problem in certain areas, but you have an MVP quarterback. You have Zay Flowers. You have Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. You have a great defense. They don't have any of that in Carolina. That's the problem. It's not because they fired Frank Reich and Matt Rule. It's because these guys can't play.
what about I don't know teams like what about teams like the Eagles? What about teams like the Lions? Right? Like, what about these other teams that go and get these very good coaches? Like, you can't be afraid to move on from a coach that's not doing his job. And and you don't need to be afraid in this instance because we have a quarterback, and he's not who he is because of Harbaugh. I promise you that. All right. He said Carr has been written off so often, and he gets it done. Is all I mean. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't get anything done.
My man,
How many?
listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years he's been an NFL starting quarterback. You know what his playoff record is? Pay the bills. I want you to guess. Don't Google it. I want you to guess what
too.
Derek Carr's playoff record is.
I don't guess it too. I think it's 1 win. I think he had 1 win with the Raiders.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Pay the bills for Mr. Gets It Done.
Trib 1 is guessing 0-1. Okay. I think he had a win. I don't remember.
He says, "Stop it, LOL." So he knows it's not good. No, it's not. It's not 0-2. It's not 0-2. That would imply that he made the playoffs twice. It is in fact 0-1. He doesn't.
He lost to the Bengals, right?
I don't remember.
Was it the Bengals?
I don't remember who he lost to, but he does not in fact get it done.
He doesn't. So. No. Like, you want to argue he's a starting caliber quarterback? I guess, man. You're not going to win with him. You're not. Let's see. Pilaf Ross says, when you lose like this, everyone shares the blame. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's no. Oh, yeah. We're just talking about some individual performances. Obviously, Bryce is the most important person on the team to evaluate right now. But everybody pissed in the pot on this one. Like, this wasn't. No, this wasn't. This wasn't one person to blame.
Hey, shout out to the 40 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. We're close to 2,000 subscribers. Okay, and we got another donation. This is from Big Sexy Justin. He says, "Who that say where the hell you get that?" What? I missed the rest. He goes off too quick.
Who that say where the hell you get that? My ass lunch break work at. Oh yeah, trade me Bo Nix. That's ridiculous. You are muted, I think.
Oh, my bad. I muted myself because I was drowning out your voice for a minute. But he said, where do you get that merch at? Good question, Justin. LBHTShow.com/shop. This is actually a vintage shirt right here. This is our old logo. We have a new logo, okay? Microphone man right there, the one that was doing the Park Heights strut for you. But LBHTShow.com/shop. That beanie that B's wearing, that's on there. We got a lot of stuff on there. So go over there and check it out and copy some merch. Okay, it supports the show. Also sign up for our newsletter. The newsletter is coming. Okay, we had a Will G sighting. Will G and is going to work with us, and we're going to get that newsletter out there. All right. So go to lbhtshow.com, and it's just sit there for a second. Go over there, wait like 2 seconds. You'll get a little pop up asking for your email. Okay, put your email in there, sign up, and then let us know, because when we start the points back up, we were supposed to start it last week. Maybe this week coming up, we'll start it again. When we start the points up, you get 1,000 points, and these points go towards prizes like Amazon gift cards and other things. All right. Is there an All Saints newsletter? I'm sure there is one somewhere, Justin, but not over here. Not for the Lunch Break Hot Take newsletter. Okay.
Danny Franklin says, do the Panthers have all their draft picks this year? Do they still owe Chicago from the Bryce trade? Chicago has Carolina's second-round pick, but Carolina replaced that with the Rams' second-round pick by trading back in this draft. So they have a pick in every round, and they have 2 fifth-round picks.
Yeah. Hey, salute Jerry Green. Thanks for coming through. The Southern Ballers Show. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe. All right. Also, Justin, speaking of subscribe, Justin is part of the Let's Get Ready Network, along with Ferris and Adelia. You've seen them on the show, or you've seen Adelia in the comments. You see Ferris all the time over here. Okay. Justin is a part of that crew. So make sure you go subscribe over there. LGRN Entertainment. Okay. That's the Let's Get Ready Network Entertainment. That's where you can find Justin. They also have a sports channel, Let's Get Ready Network, LGRN, The Highlights. Okay. Ferris was there earlier calling the Giants game.
Giants, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, Jay, you need all of your picks, and you need to hit on the picks.
We need twice as many picks as we have.
Yeah. So who is next? Who do you have next week?
Oh, let me pull up the schedule here. Next week, the Carolina Panthers will be playing the Los Angeles Chargers in Charlotte.
Okay. We'll see what they do today. That could be a winnable game for you.
Well, based on the way they played today, there are no winnable games for Carolina. So we will just have to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, yeah. Disappointed, man. I felt good about Bryce, but you know, he just
It's particularly annoying to me because I was on the Bryce Young hype train all that year. His last year in college. Leading up to that draft, and then towards the end of the season, I said, you know what, I kind of like C.J. Stroud more. And then our guy Jay in the chat convinced me to go back and look at Anthony Richardson again. And then
yeah.
at the end, I was like, you know what, Anthony Richardson's the guy. He's a special talent. He'll need some development and he'll need a little time, but he's got all the tools. He's the one. And then for the first time ever, the Carolina Panthers drafted the person who I said they should have drafted in Bryce Young, and it looks like they got the, I don't know, fourth worst quarterback in the first round.
Okay. I'll say this. It's too early to say about Canales, right? If he can coach or not. But we're gonna let the season progress. We'll see how things look, and we'll have to give our thoughts on him as a coach, how the team looks overall, and hopefully, because he did an excellent job in Tampa,
Mm-hmm.
you go into the offseason and say, either one or two things can happen. Bryce Young turns it around, and by the end of the year, you're like, okay, I see it now, right? It took him a little while to get going, but he's got it. We're good there, and we can add more pieces. Or hey, we gave him a shot. He doesn't have it. We need to go quarterback, and Dave Canales can get his quarterback because he didn't select Bryce Young,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he can go and get his guy, and then you can really start seeing those changes. But again, you got a whole season in front of you, so you gotta make the most of it. Um, so one game at a time. That's the only thing you can do. You know.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Exactly.
go around the NFL real quick and talk about a couple other things. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like it says right there. All right, we got 40 people in here, 42 people in here. All right, so make sure you do that. Canals did a great job with Geno in Seattle too. Yes, yes. Chris White said at least y'all aren't the Bengals. Okay, good place to start there. Okay, so let's take a look at the scores. Let's see. Spoke of the Bengals. They lost to the Patriots 16-10. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. Jacoby Brissett with 121 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Ramondre Stevenson is where they got busy. 25 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. The Bengals. Joe Burrow. You've been saying it all offseason. I thought you were just kind of trolling a little bit. Joe Burrow may not care anymore, man.
I
21 for
honestly don't think
29.
he does, man. I really don't think he does.
21 for 29, 164 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. How does that happen?
And listen, there's no T Higgins. He was hurt. Jamar Chase was on a snap count, but you're playing
Yeah,
the New England Patriots.
yeah.
Like if you are who you think you are, you should have handled this game.
And no mixing either now, right? Yeah, Zach Moss
They,
as a
yeah,
leading
they
rusher.
replaced him with Zach Moss. So I
9 carries,
mean,
44 yards, and a touchdown. Whew. Bad, tough game. Tough game. All right, moving on. We're speaking of fairs, calling the Giants game. The Giants lose to the Vikings 28-6. All right, let's see. Sam Darnold had 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Aaron Jones had 94 yards and a touchdown. What are the Giants doing? Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones threw
Uh,
a pick six,
Pick six. Another
another
interception.
interception. It was a bad day all around. He's a bad quarterback. They're a bad team. You should expect more of this.
He is the most consistent bad quarterback I've seen in the NFL. Like, he refuses to improve. Steelers win 18-10.
Six field
That was
goals, nothing to see there.
yeah.
Keep that one moving. The Bears with a kind of surprising win over the Titans,
I was
24-17.
Yep.
And it was surprising because they had no offensive touchdowns.
I was going to ask you that because I'm looking at the stats. I'm like, how did this happen? So I
Yeah.
saw they had like a punt block return for a touchdown, right? How did they get the
Yeah.
rest of their points?
Well, they had several field goals, and then they had, I want to say, it wasn't a kick return for a touchdown, interception return for a touchdown. Tyreek Stevenson.
All right. Caleb
So
Williams, his
yeah,
very first game, 14 for 29, 93 yards. Not good.
no,
5 carries, 15 yards. But hey, they got the win. DeAndre Swift, 10 carries, 30 yards. That ain't good either. I think I got him in one of my fantasy leagues.
yeah.
That's
I'll tell you
really
what
not
else
good.
isn't good. DJ Moore, 5 catches on 13 or on 8 targets for 36 yards. I need more than that, DJ.
Yeah. So we're not feeling that. We're not feeling that, guys. Do better. Okay, what else do we have? We got Texans beating the Colts 29-27. Anthony Richardson, 9 for
Anthony
19, 212
Richardson,
yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
Anthony Richardson, incredible. They had 212 yards on 9 completions. My man bombs it down the field. You know, he's that's 23 and a half yards per completion. He subscribes to that old that golf saying, you know, 2 bad shots and an amazing one makes par. That's
Yeah,
uh
that's
that's
it.
that's Anthony Richardson.
He
But I'll
also
tell
has
you
like
what,
6 carries,
Alec Pierce breakout incoming. Okay.
3
I
catches,
stuck with
125
him.
yards and a touchdown.
I
Yeah.
stuck with him and it's finally gonna pay off.
Anthony Richardson outrushed Jonathan Taylor. He had 56 yards and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 48 yards and a touchdown.
Mhm.
But CJ Stroud came through, man. 24 for 32, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe
As did Joe
Mixon,
Mixon.
30 carries, 159 yards and a touchdown.
As
Bengals
as
might have
did
messed up.
Stephon Diggs with his 6 catches, 33 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. Nico Collins, 6 catches, 117 yards. Um, yeah, Bengals messed up. Bengals might be bad, B.
They might be. We'll have to see. I don't have a problem with them letting Joe Mixon walk. You know, they're a full on passing team. They didn't even attempt to make sure that Joe Mixon was being effective. But you can't replace him with Zach Moss necessarily. That's all.
But he was effective. Like they might be a passing team, but when you have a guy as talented as Joe Mixon, it keeps the defense honest.
But he wasn't productive. Like he had a real low yards per carry, and he wasn't producing like this.
Right.
And I think, you know, part of that is just because their O line, despite their efforts, still isn't great.
Yeah.
And you know, and they didn't want to pay him, obviously. So I don't have any problem moving on from him. You just have to get a better replacement than Zach Moss, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we'll go through these other ones real quick. Bills end up beating the Cardinals 34-28. Man, I don't even know what happened because Josh Allen was looking terrible early on, but
Well,
he got it together.
he was playing the Cardinals, is what happened. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all right. So, congrats to
And
the
then
Bills.
Miami came back and got the
Oh, they
win
did.
over Jacksonville. Uh, you know, it was a bad day for the Dolphins. You know, they were very out of sync. But, you know, the Jaguars are the Jaguars, and Jaguars gonna Jaguar. So
And when
that's
you
what it
have
is.
Tyreek Hill, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw he had an 80-yard touchdown catch. That's why he gets paid what he gets paid because he makes that kind of difference. No Tyreek Hill, no win. Okay, games going on right now. Broncos are leading the Seahawks 3-0. Raiders are leading the Chargers 6-3. Actually, is that 2 field goals or is that a touchdown? Or are they
The
kicking an extra
Raiders
point?
have a touchdown. They're up 7-3.
7-3. Okay, yep, just updated. All right, and that's all I see going on right now. Oh no, Bucks are beating the Commanders 3-0. Browns are beating the Cowboys 3-0. And then the night game is Rams versus Lions, and then tomorrow Jets versus 49ers. All right. That is the wrap up around the NFL. Pilaf Ross says, with Bryce's tangibles processing has to be his best strength. Yes, I agree. He's not processing things
And we kind of
fast enough.
thought that it was, but it does not look like it.
Nope.
And
Nope.
look, and when you are not the most physically gifted, which he is not, right? He's a small guy. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not the best athlete. He has to be super accurate all the time, and he just
Yeah.
hasn't been.
Yeah. Hey, Yolanda, thanks for coming through. Another dope YouTuber that you should be following. She's close to 1,000 subscribers. Help our girl get to 1,000 subscribers. Ravens Talk with Yolanda. All right, go show her some love over there. Daniel Franklin says Reader was a big loss for Cincy as well. Yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see. Fumbled in a pick. Suge says more to see there than the Panthers. More to see where.
Oh, he's still upset that we didn't talk about the Steelers, who kicked 6 field goals today. There's
Not really.
nothing. There's nothing to see there.
What do you want to talk about? You didn't
you
look
know,
good.
you know what is funny though? Falcons fans are already calling for Michael Penix.
Yeah,
One game into the $100 million Kirk Cousins era.
Kirk Cousins did not look good. Filthy says, "How did the Bengals lose to the Pats? What excuses will they make for Burrow? They will make none. They just won't talk about it because Burrow's not Lamar Jackson." But B had been saying it this offseason. He didn't get a good vibe from Burrow. It's really the dyed hair. He said that looks like somebody that's not serious about football. And it's one game in. We're making real time reactions, but he didn't look good against a team that they should have had no problem beating.
Now the Trib, you know I'm putting up that comment, right?
What comment?
Which is why it was so stupid to draft.
That wasn't his fault. I'm sure that was auto corrected.
He meant Michael Penix. But no, it wasn't stupid to draft Michael Penix. It was stupid to give $100 million to a 34-year-old quarterback coming off a torn Achilles who has never won anything. That was stupid. Drafting Michael Penix is what they should have done.
Yeah. 180 million. Jeez Louise. Okay, so let's talk about Dak's contract. He is the highest paid player in NFL history right now, right? Mm-hmm. What was it? 4 years, 240 million?
Yep, 60 million a year.
60 million a year. How much guaranteed?
I have not seen any numbers on what was guaranteed or not.
All right. Cowboys fans, how do you feel about that? Warbone, where you at? Okay. How do you feel? Are you happy about it? Because I mean, the talk that I've heard from the Cowboys fans that I know and just looking on social media and whatnot is that Dak was going to be out of here. 231 guaranteed is what Buck is saying.
Okay. Why not just guarantee the other 9? NFL teams are again deeply unserious, but that's okay. Look, I gotta say I don't like this at all because I don't think it's going to work there. And not to say that it can't work. Dak is a very, very talented player. They have a lot of talent on that team. They win a lot of games, but it hasn't come together in the postseason. He himself has been disappointing in the postseason at times as well. And it feels to me like one of those things where they kind of need a change of scenery. Dak needs a change of scenery, and they need a new guy under center. So obviously that's not going to happen at this point. But I don't really love paying Dak Prescott $60 million a year.
And Buck is right. According to Ian Rappaport, 4 years with a record 240 million, 231 million guaranteed per him and Tom Pelissaro. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I'm happy for Dak. And it's one of those things where, it's just hard to get a quarterback. It's hard to get a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. And if you don't plan to replace him, you're stuck with him. I forgot who asked earlier about or mentioned earlier about the Ravens moving on for Harbaugh, and they're afraid to move on from Harbaugh because, it could get worse. It's a lot easier to replace a coach. There are plenty of coaches out there. Okay. There's only a handful of really good quarterbacks. Dak is a really good quarterback. Right. Mm-hmm. Does he choke? Yeah, he chokes. He's still really good. And you had all this time to look at other options, if you're the Cowboys, and you didn't. Okay. You thought Trey Lance could have been your guy, and he went out there and threw 5 interceptions in a preseason game. And he said, well, maybe not. Maybe we do pay Dak now. So congrats to Dak. And congrats to the Cowboys because he's going to keep you guys competitive.
Well, and this is what the trip is saying. He says for Dak, he was up next. It's just how it works in the NFL. Yeah, we know we've said that multiple times. Every time a quarterback gets signed, that's how it works. But the difference here is you didn't have to sign Dak. You know, you could move on. He's been there for a long time and it hasn't worked. So you could say, hey, you know what, this is the end of the road here. We're going to go in a different direction. Uh, but if you're not, you have to recognize that he is not going to carry you to that Super Bowl. You know, Peyton Manning was a choker, and he
Yeah.
never got over that. He was a choker all the way through his career. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion because teams realized, hey, you know what, the guy's a choker, and so we have to compensate for that in different ways. When he won his first Super Bowl, he threw 4 touchdowns, I believe 7 interceptions during that postseason run. Right, his second Super Bowl, he was the worst or one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league. He led the league in interceptions. He just couldn't even throw the ball anymore. But they had an all-world defense that led them to that Super Bowl. If you're Dallas, you have to not be splitting carries with Rico Dowdell and a Ezekiel Elliott
Right.
if you want Dak Prescott to be the quarterback on a Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe switch your coach up too.
Yeah, maybe that as well.
All right. Congrats, Dak. Okay, we're happy for you. And I'm happy for the Cowboys fans too, man. Like, even if you're a Cowboys fan that didn't like Dak, man, you guys didn't have a plan to replace him. Trust me, you know.
That plan threw 5 interceptions in a preseason game. So
Yeah, yeah. So it didn't work out. Oh, look who's here! Just in time, by the way, because we have one more topic to discuss, and this is our expert, okay, in WNBA, Mister. What are we doing? We change the scenes.
yeah, I have to change the scene to bring him up.
Okay,
You
all
know
right, go
this.
ahead. All right, my bad. Let's go ahead and change it to the basketball one.
Yeah,
You want to do the basketball one,
yeah.
or football one because he wants to talk football. There he is.
Hello, everyone.
There he
How's
is.
everybody?
What's
going
going
on?
on, Ferris?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
It's good
Can
to
y'all hear
hear.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we hear you fine.
That's good. That's good.
First of all, Ferris, good job on your play by play today. All right,
Well, thank you very
I
much.
caught
Thank you
some
very
of that.
much.
You
Thank
did
you.
an excellent job, but that's no surprise. You're a true professional. Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So here's what we're gonna do. We got the basketball scene. We'll do this real quick. We want to talk about Angel Reese, her season-ending injury, what that means for the Sky. What does that mean for her chances at Rookie of the Year? And then we'll go back to the football scene, and I'll let you get your thoughts off on the Giants real quick. All right, 45 people in
Appreciate it.
here. Hit the like
Appreciate it,
button.
brother.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button. All right, Angel Reese, go.
She broke her wrist or hurt her wrist a couple days ago.
Mhm.
She's out for the season. It really doesn't do much for the Sky because they suck. All right, so they're gonna still suck. All right, so it doesn't really change the team because they stink with her. They're gonna stink without her. They because the team isn't built. They don't have shooting. They run two bigs. The bigs clog the lane with no shooting. You know what I mean? So if you have two bigs, you need three shooters, right? You have two bigs, you need three. They don't have three shooters. They don't.
And
You
you also
know,
need passers. Mm.
and, yeah, and you need passers, right? They could do the high low with her and Camila, but it doesn't really work. I don't know what Teresa Witherspoon's offense is. I think they're giving Teresa a lot of leash because she is Teresa Witherspoon. You know what I mean? This is like a basketball legend. So legends get a little leeway, but if we don't see some development in the offense of what the hell they want to do, it's time for I get that you're a legend, but it's time to head on out. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's that. It doesn't really change much in the rookie of the year race because she had a great rookie year, but Caitlin Clark was going to win it regardless, even if she played the full year. Because
Yeah, yeah.
Caitlin has been, like
Since
she's
the
yeah,
the break, yeah,
yeah, since the
Olympic
break.
break,
Exactly. Since the break and since prior
she's
to
been
the
killing it.
break, yeah, she just kind of like increased the lead, and I was gonna vote for her regardless,
Yeah,
because
me too.
so like yeah, it was gonna be Caitlin Clark regardless. So like yeah, that's pretty much the update really because I'm sorry to Angel, like you know She has a lot of offensive deficiencies that really don't help the team because she just needs to improve the game. Footwork, like I think Danity pointed out last week. Footwork, some post moves here and there. But yeah, man, what are the Sky? What are their offensive identity? We don't know. They had two
Yeah,
bigs running around in the paint, clogging it up. No shooters. They stink
yeah.
now. They're gonna stink. They stink now. They're gonna stink later. Doesn't really matter. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go deeper into this on the Wednesday show. If you're gonna be there, Ferris, we'll talk about what the plan is for the Sky rest of the season and in the off season because they need a point guard
Hmm.
badly, right? So we'll discuss that. So if you're new here, subscribe. Wednesday nights is when we do our show. Okay, the LBHT show. We cover football, obviously. Basketball, some combat sports. All right, all that stuff. Wednesday nights, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. All right, let's go over to football and let's let Ferris get it off his chest.
Before we start football, I just want to point out that the LA Sparks are now officially out of playoff contention as of yesterday. So Paige is going to LA. So there's that.
Well, we'll see because they're only a couple. I mean, the Sky only a few games ahead of the Sparks.
Yeah, but the
It's
the Sky
very
beat the Sparks.
unlikely
Yeah,
that
the
they
Sky beat
Oh
the.
yeah, because only 6 games left, right?
Yeah,
There's only
yeah,
6 games. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah, Paige is going to LA.
yeah. Paige is going to LA unless they're like, you know what? Let's give it to the expansion team, which is probably not going to happen. So Paige is going to LA. So there's that. Which
All right. So you covered the Giants today. All right. They lost to the Vikings. What's your take from that?
um, I wasn't surprised that the offense was inept. That wasn't the surprise. Them not being very good is what didn't really shock me. My biggest disappointment is the defense didn't show up. Sam Darnold completed 12 of the first 12 passes. He looked like he had never seen a pass rush in his life, and he was sitting pretty in the back in the pocket, just slinging it left and right, completing passes left and right. Sam Darnold didn't look like New York Jets Sam Darnold. They made him look like Sam Darnold, the prospect that everyone loved coming out of college. And that's my biggest disappointment. You get Brian Burns, you need more pressure. And I don't like literally sending 4 didn't work. They sent 5, it still didn't work. The pressure, Sam Donald wasn't moved off his platform. He was like, this is the New York Giants pass rush with Brian Burns and Avon Thibodeau. This is what you guys are doing. That's what disappointed me. The offense sucking. That doesn't disappoint me. That's expected by me.
Right.
That's why I thought they were going to win 17-14
Oh,
or 14-10. I thought the defense was going to carry the load, but it didn't
no,
because it
no,
also oh,
no,
what
Trip.
happened?
What we're not going to do is pretend that Sam Darnold is a decent quarterback. That's what we're not going to do.
Yeah. He's
Right.
it should be our pass rush should be elite, but it didn't show elite. As the game going on, I talk about how Dexter Lawrence is the best nose tackle, defensive tackle in the game, depending on what designation you give Chris Jones, right? Defensive end, defensive tackle, whatever. He's one or two, and he didn't really play that well. The defensive line didn't really play that well. Off of the broadcast, it didn't look good. I'm gonna look back at the all 22, which is gonna give me a better view of the defensive line play. But off of the broadcast that we saw, they were horrible. The defense was horrible,
Yeah.
like bad. And DBs, our weakest point, they were being cooked left and right. Jalen Naylor, Cordell Flott bit on an action that I don't know why he bit. Like he extended, and the Naylor just kind of like creeped behind him. And I'm like, what are you doing? No one is in front of you. Get depth. You got to get depth. And he like creeped up for some odd apparent reason, and then over the top touchdown. You know, that's
Yeah.
my biggest disappointment. It looks like Micah McFadden lost his job to the rookie Darius Maasua out of UCLA because I didn't see McFadden at all.
That's my biggest disappointment.
Maasua played most of the match with Bobby Okereke. You know what I mean? And then they would have
Listen, if you
Brian.
call it a match again, you're never coming back on this channel.
What match? What match?
I say if you call it a match again, you're never coming back on this channel. You said he
This
played
is
most of the
football,
match.
not
You
football.
said he played
All right,
most of the match
all
with
right.
Bobby O'Kerrick.
Sorry. Game. My bad. Game. He played most of the game with Bobby Okereke. I apologize.
Jeez.
Sorry. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So like that was my biggest disappointment. That the defense that played very well last year, that towards the end of the season was one of our bright spots, didn't play good. And it also shows to you how I was never a big fan of Shane Bowden. I watched his defenses in Tennessee. I was never impressed. I'm sorry, like they were unimpressive. Like no one ever thought, hey, this Tennessee defense is one of the best in the league. It was middle of the road his entire time he was there. Even though he had Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, Kevin Byard, they weren't an elite defense. People be like, look at this stat. He's 15th, and I'm like, sorry, yeah, you know,
It's funny that you say that because you had a defensive coordinator who had top defenses, and y'all ran him up out of there.
exactly.
Hey, I gotta give a shout out to the Panthers fans that come in here. This is a Panthers stream. D Weezy, who's a diehard Panthers fan, says Sundays are going to cause me to break out the chalice. Hey,
You need a bigger
speaking
chalice.
of chalice, you can get one of these nice clean chalices over on Coach's channel, Sip to Tally Films. Okay, you got to sign up for his Patreon. Patreon.com/Sip2Tally. SIP2TALLY. Okay, that's the name of his channel, and that's his Patreon.
You see how Brodny's bottle was bigger than yours because he needs more of the liquids.
That is half and half, my friend.
You say it's half and half.
It is literally a bottle of Arizona tea, half and half.
Hey! Do they sponsor the show?
Yeah, ho!
Hey,
Keep
what's
that
wrong
off the camera,
Why
sir.
are you bringing it up then?
I didn't call it half and half. I didn't call it half and half. I said the liquid.
Half and half it's not a brand thing. It's a drink name.
Yeah. Do they sponsor you? All right then.
No.
All right.
All right. All right. We're gonna get out of here soon because I'm like I said, I was supposed to be on the road an hour ago, so I am way behind. Ferris, I just want to know before we go, how did it make you feel Friday seeing Saquon Barkley go off with 3 touchdowns, over 100 total yards, 3 touchdowns, and then have to watch Devin Singletary rumble and tumble for what was it, 37 yards today?
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's put this to bed. Okay. They made the right decision by not re-signing him, but then they made the bad decision by signing that quarterback. You should have got rid of both of them and started all over. But you guys didn't want to do that. Yeah. Because whoa, no, time out. No. It's common
costs
NFL.
you nothing to sign a running back.
No. Let me finish, my good sir. It's a common NFL practice to not sign your running backs after towards the age of 30, and he had a massive knee injury. Everyone does it, but when the New York Giants do it, y'all are stupid. But everyone did it. The Raiders did it. The Packers did it. They got rid of Aaron Jones. Josh Jacobs was gone. But when the Giants do it, it's what is wrong with you?
Not remotely the same.
Well, none of those teams you mentioned are doing well.
That's one, but they're also not the same because Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones weren't the entire offense for either one of those teams.
Josh Jacobs wasn't for the Raiders. Yeah,
he was not.
Yeah, he was.
No, he was not. They have Devontae Adams, sir.
Yeah, he's reliant on the quarterback, and the quarterback almost got him killed 8 times.
Okay, Josh Jacobs is not the entire offense. They have pass catchers in Vegas, just like they have pass catchers in Green Bay.
A bunch of rookies and second years.
And Aaron Jones wasn't the entire offense, was he? That was the Josh
Jacobs didn't lead.
Last year.
He didn't lead the team in rushing and receiving.
It's a valid point, but
now in New York, what did you have that was not named Saquon Barkley?
The thing is this. This team sucks so bad they can't afford that luxury. They need to reinvest. Saquon Barkley is a running back you sign for a Super Bowl contender. Giants ain't Super Bowl contenders.
Here's the
They're just
thing.
gonna,
No,
he's
man.
gonna he's
No,
gonna
Here's the
no.
he's
thing,
gonna be
Ferris.
wasted. He's gonna
Here's
be
the thing, Ferris.
wasted. We're gonna
Here's
waste
the thing,
Saquon
Ferris.
Barkley.
Here's the thing, Ferris. First of all, yes, you were always going to waste Saquon Barkley. That's what
There
y'all
it
do.
is.
Secondly, you don't let him walk. Carolina was in a very similar situation with Christian McCaffrey. What did they do, Ferris?
No, I agree with you. They should have traded him. I
Yeah,
agree. That's
yeah.
my biggest issue. My biggest issue is they should have traded him and Xavier McKinney. If you're not going to resign them, trade him at the deadline. But he didn't do it. Joe Shane has. I'm not. I'm done. Like, I'm no longer a big fan of him. I just want to.
So
I don't
You
know
know
why
what I
you
mean?
were ever
here's
a
why I
fan
don't
of him.
agree. Here's why I
know,
don't agree.
You know,
Where did you guys draft in this year's draft?
6
6. What did you get?
Malik Neighbors.
That's right, Malik Neighbors. I forgot. That should have been a quarterback, right? You keep you let Daniel Jones go. You keep Saquon Barkley. You draft who was on the board there. You could have gotten Jaden Daniels.
They could
No,
have gotten Nix or Penix
or
or
McCarthy.
yeah, or
One of
May.
those.
Well, no, May was gone already, right?
May was 3. May was
Yeah,
3.
yeah, yeah.
So you get your quarterback, and your quarterback has a safety valve for handing the ball off and checking down. Right?
Mhm.
Like, he's reliable. You have a playmaker there that helps take the pressure off your rookie quarterback while he's
Mhm.
developing. That's why you keep Saquon Barkley.
I agree with you. If we drafted a quarterback, I would have definitely re-signed him.
Yeah.
But we
But
didn't.
you re-signed before the draft, Ferris.
No, I'm just saying. But that means they weren't gonna draft a quarterback then when they didn't re-sign him.
They didn't have any idea if they were going to draft a quarterback at that point. They didn't know who was going to be there at 6.
That's true. Yeah, but we all knew the first
I see what
2 were
Ferris
gone.
is thinking. I don't think
Yeah.
they had any intention of drafting a quarterback, right?
No, they
Like,
didn't.
they were going to roll with Daniel Jones no matter what, because he's part of the
40
Manning
million.
Mafia,
40
right?
million. Manning Mafia. Yeah.
He's part of Manning Mafia. He's got ties to the mob. Okay, and they're going to go with Daniel Jones no matter what.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for him to be on the team at this point. He's shown you exactly who he is over the last how many years.
But
right?
we're not talking about what they were going to do. We're talking about what they should have done.
Yes.
I agree, but they weren't going to do that because of the problem. We
I mean,
have.
listen, if we're just going to go down the road of they weren't going to do that, there's no point in discussing anything.
No.
Exactly.
I hear what Ferris is saying. He's not doing the they weren't going to do it. So what difference does it make? He's looking at it from this is what they did based off of what they're doing. This is what they should have done, right?
Exactly.
So he agrees that they should have got rid of Daniel Jones, and then you keep Saquon Barkley. But if you're going to keep Daniel Jones, no need to keep Saquon Barkley. That's what you're saying, right, Ferris?
Or you get rid of, or you get rid of both of them and start from scratch.
But that's also false because Saquon Barkley is the reason that y'all made the playoffs with Daniel Jones as your starting quarterback, with got him that contract to begin with. Like, he is the only reason that you've had any success there recently, and he doesn't cost anything.
But why is it when running backs leave? Like, Derrick Henry left Tennessee, and no one was talking about how Tennessee is stupid for letting him go. He was the entire offense.
But Tennessee.
Wait, Derrick Henry wasn't the entire offense in Tennessee.
Well, Derrick
Henry
is
1,100 yards last year.
Derrick Henry's declining.
Yes, and Derrick Henry's in decline. And again, Saquon Barkley is not. Saquon Barkley is still an elite player, as he showed you on Friday. And more to the point, again, you are a team who doesn't have anything else.
That's why what I thought they should have done was blow it up.
Yeah.
Get rid of everyone. Start over. Legit rebuild. Stop hanging on. Get rid of Daniel. Get rid of Saquon. You got rid of X McKinney. You got rid of all of the David Gettleman guys. Start over. But
you know what that looks like?
But the problem is, here's the problem. You know what the problem is? It's not that Saquon left. The biggest problem is, here's the big problem. The man is a horrible drafter. That's the problem, really.
Who, your GM?
Yeah, our GM. He's hit on how many picks has he hit? One pick. He's hit on one pick.
Okay, I'm also certain that's not true. But you don't do that. You don't get rid of everybody, Ferris, because then you look like Carolina looks right now. You don't just strip your team of talent. Okay, and Tripp saying Titans are legit rebuilding. No, they are not.
No one really legit rebuilds really in the NFL.
They're not even pretending to be legit rebuilding. They just paid Tony Pollard and brought in DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley
Yeah, they're not
and Tyler
rebuilding.
Boyd. They're not rebuilding at all.
Yeah, they think they can still win, but they just know Derrick Henry. He's old. This is what it is.
Mhm.
He's old.
So you're
All right.
saying the NBA model of blowing it up and getting rid of everybody won't work in the NFL ever?
It's not an effective way to do it. It works in the NBA because one player changes your fortunes in the NBA.
Mm.
That's not
You
really the case in the NFL.
it can happen in NFL. The problem is it requires a whole lot of patience on everybody's part, in particular the owner, right? If
Yes.
the owner is behind a complete rebuild and understand, hey, I might take a loss with money, right? People aren't going to come to the games, fans are going to complain, but over the next 3 or 4 years, we're going to build this thing back up.
Hmm.
You
Well,
know, if if,
even
if
that,
they truly
that's
understand that,
longer.
huh?
Like
Yeah, yeah, it is.
for what Ferris is talking about, where he's saying just jettison anybody, essentially anybody who makes any money. So, which
Yeah,
is anybody with any talent. It's going to take longer than 3 or 4 years because you're rebuilding a 53-man roster, not
yeah,
a 9-man rotation. Like
That's a good
if you blow up your basketball team and you draft LeBron James, you're good in a year.
yeah.
If you
valid
blow up
point.
your
Okay,
entire football team and you draft, let's say you draft CJ Stroud, you're still going to suck for a while until you can
yeah.
build around him.
It's a valid point.
All right,
It's a valid point.
we're gonna leave it there because I'm already way past the time I'm supposed to be here. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
you're
gonna
gonna
pick
get
this
yelled at.
up. I said, ain't nobody gonna yell at me. Ain't
That's a good
nobody
point.
gonna yell at me. All
That's a good
right,
point.
but I do need to go. Wednesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. If you like this content, we're going to discuss more of this on the LBHT show. We'll probably carry it into overtime show too, because me and B already have a few topics that we want to discuss for the overtime show. The overtime show is our show for Patreons on patreon.com/LBHT show. It's a whole nother show. We talk about things that we don't get to on the show, things that the audience wants to talk about. It can be sports related, it can be movies, TV, or whatnot. We have a few topics that we want to get to, and college football. Me and B haven't really discussed a whole lot of college football unless it's like a particular issue or whatever. But we're starting to get into it a little bit more now that they're starting to pay players. You got a legit playoff,
Now that
and
the U is back.
the U might be back. So there's some things to discuss, and we'll get to that on the overtime show. So if you want to be a part of that, patreon.com/LBHT show is how you find it. And that will be on Wednesday after our main show, which starts at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Ferris, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on. Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the Let's Get Ready Network, the highlights every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. Me and Caleb do Good Friends, Better Rivals. We our NFC East podcast. He's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Giants fan. I'm not going to be very happy, and we'll see if the Cowboys beat the Browns. So we'll see if he's happy. And then I'll be doing the New York Giants. Will be playing a lot of games this year. Not a lot of good games, so I'll be calling. I'm gonna do play by play for most of the season. I did my first one today. Little hiccups here and there. Constructive criticism, news and notes. If you got some, hit me up, tell me what's up. Yes, but I'll be doing play by play. My first one just came out today. Go watch it and see how it was. If you liked it, come back next week and watch me do play by play for a team that slowly destroys my will to live.
And I'll put his link in the description as well. All right. All right. That's it. See you guys on Wednesday. We might put out a little video clip here and there. We're trying, increase the content. We're trying to we're trying to grow over here. All right. We're close to 2,000 subscribers. As soon as we hit 2,000, we are fastly moving towards 3,000. We want to hit 3,000 in a matter of months. Okay. Not a whole year. So that being said, man, tell your friends, tell your loved ones, sign up. Okay. Subscribe to LBHT Show. Sign up to the Patreon. We building over here. Head over to Suge's channel next. There you go. Right there. Suge Knight 323. Okay. We're a whole crew over here. So you don't need to go browsing YouTube to find out what you're gonna look at next, we're telling you where to go. Suge Knight 323. Go subscribe to his channel and check out his content. Now, just be fair warned, he's a Steelers fan. Okay, so if you're into that kind of thing, I guess. No, check him out, man.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What does that sound like? That doesn't sound like
Something dirty.
like a kink. Like, yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right, we're out of here. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.